This is Audible.
Brilliance Audio. My Evil Mother, an Amazon original story by Margaret Atwood, performed by Hilary Huber. "You're so evil," I said to my mother. I was 15, the talkback age. "I take that as a compliment," she said. "Yes, I'm evil, as others might define that term, but I use my evil powers only for good." "Yeah, tell me another," I replied. We were having an argument about my new boyfriend, Brian. "Anyway, who gets to say what's good?" My mother was in the kitchen, grinding something in her mortar. She often ground things in her mortar, though sometimes she used the mixmaster. If I said, "What's that?" she might say, "Garlic and parsley," and I'd know she was in joy of cooking mode. But if she said, "Look the other way," or "What you don't know won't hurt you," or "I'll tell you when you're old enough," I'd realize there was trouble in store for someone. She was ahead of her time with the garlic, I feel compelled to mention. Most people in our kind of neighborhood hadn't found out about it yet. Our neighborhood was on the northern margin of Toronto, one of many cities that were rapidly expanding over farm fields and drained swamps, wreaking havoc with the vole populations and flattening burdocks as they went. Out of the bulldozed mud had sprouted post-war split levels in tidy rows, each with a picture window, ranch style, with flat roofs that hadn't yet begun to leak in the winters. Those who lived in these houses were young moderns with children. The fathers had jobs, the mothers not. My mother was an anomaly. No visible husband, no job exactly, though she did seem to have a means of support. Our kitchen was large and sunlit, with a canary yellow linoleum floor, a breakfast nook, and a white dresser with rows of blue plates and bowls. My mother had a thing for blue in tableware. She said it warded off any evil eyes intent on ruining the food. Her eyebrows were plucked into two incredulous arches, as was almost still the fashion. She was neither tall nor short, neither plump nor thin. In everything, she took care to imitate the third choice of Goldilocks, just right. That day she was wearing a flowered apron, tulips and daffodils, over a shirtwaist dress with small white and pastel green stripes and a Peter Pan collar, Cuban heels.